Greetings everyone, welcome to Just Advanced, and this game is, this is just one of the most brutal games of Mikhail Tal. He absolutely crushes his opponent. Here with the white pieces we have Bukhuti Gurgenidze, and with the black pieces we have our magician from Riga, a brilliant sorcerer, and also one who actually invented or just introduced us to the romantic chess. And we have Mikhail Tal. This game is going to be an absolutely brutal one. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Here, just d4 by Bukhuti. We have this knight to f6, c4, c5, and just d5. Going for the Benoni defense, we have e6, knight to c3, e captures, c captures, d6, and this is the modern variation. And we have knight to f3, g6 now. Just trying to go for this is the main line. There is no issues. And we have e4. But now we have bishop to g7, bishop to e2 now, and now just finally going for this castles, and now just rook to e8, just very nicely aligning that rook, putting the pressure on that pawn. We have knight to d2 now, trying to just defend that pawn, but knight to a6, just developing the knight via that way. Most likely going to bring it to c7, and from c7, let's see where it goes from there. But here, rook to e1, knight to c7, and just a4. Now just targeting, just getting a lot of squares, not allowing the knight to ever jump in. And also maybe just playing a5 is the way to go. But here, just b6 by Tal, and now queen to c2. But Tal goes for a very beautiful Tal move in this position. He goes for knight to g4, and knight to g4, not even preparing it with a move like bishop to d4 to try and harass that f2 pawn, and most likely Bukhuti would have moved it away. But in this position, like a normal sane person, here Bukhuti went for just h3, saying like, what is this knight doing here? Just get it back and I'll just develop, maybe just push f4, get the knight in, and just develop that bishop there, and maybe start an attack towards your king. But Tal says, well, you want to start an attack? Let's see what I can do with this beautiful black pieces. Here he goes for this knight captures on f2, and that's such a beautiful move. He sacrifices it without even having anything in the position supporting it, and there are no pieces that is close to that knight to try and attack it. Now just comes king captures, but a beautiful move now, going for this very nice queen to h4 check. And the problem is king to f1, and now just comes this very nice bishop to d4, and if checkmate is being threatened, and I'll tell you what happens here. But you have to understand that there is no way you can even refute a knight like that, because if you go for this knight caps on f2, let's say you try something else, let's say you try to go for this knight to f3, sounds like a reasonable move. But here after bishop captures, now you go for this b captures, knight captures on e4. But here after bishop to d4, you have to move the knight back, and after rook captures, knight captures, bishop to g5, and most likely this was the way he should have played. But again, if someone without any piece, without any support, throws the knight at your face and captures it on f2, are you really not going to capture it? Well, I'm sure you are going to capture it. But after this, there is checkmate being threatened, and there is not much Bukhuti can do in this position. He has to defend it, and the only way is knight to d1. He finds it. But in this position, Mikhail Tal plays the most beautiful move of all time. Instead of sacrificing the knight with no defense at all, he goes for queen captures on h3. That's a beautiful queen sacrifice. And if taken, here after g captures, bishop captures would be a beautiful crisscross bishop checkmate, and this is going to be absolutely beautiful if it appeared on the board. But obviously Bukhuti is not stupid. He's not gonna let these kinds of things baffle him. Here after bishop to f3, he defends everything very nicely, but there are some issues now in this position. And now queen to h2 was played, just trying to infiltrate and also going for these kinds of moves, and most likely that would eventually lead to checkmate. But now just knight to e3, and just cutting off that, so you cannot just deliver that check. But now f5, trying to open up more position, because your king is still in the center, and my queen is already infiltrated. If I open up more lines, my position is going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm going to be able to get more pieces into the attack, and most likely I'm going to mate you. But here in this position, knight d to c4 was played by Bukhuti. I think he was worried about bishop to a6 check, but knight d to c4 is not a good move. The move that you want to play in this position is king to e2. Get the king out of there, make it run as fast as possible, make it run like just away from every attacking piece possible. Because here after bishop captures on e3, king captures, you get this knight captures on d5. And I think this is the issue with this position. But again, I mean, this is the best that you can have. King to e2, but now just comes knight to b4, your queen is attacked. If your queen moves forward, then comes f captures, and after knight captures, you get d5, and your position is absolutely crumbling. You cannot do anything in this position. You go back, you lose the knight, and even worse, if you don't go back, there are ideas of even just pushing it back, because you won't have your queen won't have any squares. And I mean, this knight is controlling a lot of these squares. Queen can infiltrate at any time once the rook moves. This is a bad position. So he goes for knight d to c4, but now just comes f captures, bishop captures, and now bishop to a6. Now finally going for that, pinning the knight as well. There are ideas of getting the rook into the game with tempo as well. I mean, this is just really bad. Hey, bishop to f3 was played, and bishop to f3 with the idea of obviously not allowing that check to come with the tempo, and also you're gonna have to move the king somewhere, and it's not going to be pretty. But if you go for a move like rook to a3 in this position, rook captures on e4 is just completely winning, because here after queen captures, now you play this rook to e8 attacking the queen. We have queen to c2, but hey, just knight captures on d5, and now there is no surviving this. Bishop is spinning this, knight is spinning this. This is coming. I mean, this is coming. Queen can infiltrate and give a check at any time. I mean, you're not surviving this. But then after bishop to f3, maybe you're just surviving, maybe just maybe having that hope. But now this comes rook to e5. Tal is doubling up on the e file, and there is nothing you can do here. Rook to a3 was tried, but now just comes this rook a to e8. And maybe with a move like king to e2 is the best try in this position, because here after bishop captures on c4 with a check, you play queen captures, queen to h6 check, queen to h6. Now with the idea of bishop captures, and obviously queen captures, and also losing the rook in the process, and maybe just possibly getting mated as well. But how do you even get out of this? There is no defense here. You're gonna have to just get the queen in, but even then there is just too much pressure here along that e3 knight. And this is also going to be a possibility. I mean, it's just a very bad position. So here after rook a to e8, bishop to d2 was played, but bishop to d2 does not work here. A beautiful move by Tal, just adding fire to adding just gasoline to flame. I mean, he goes for knight captures on d5, a beautiful move, because this is pinned. This is just really crushing, and there is nothing you could do here. Bishop caps on d5, only move. But here rook captures, king to e2, just trying to run away, but bishop caps on e3 is just too late for that. Rook captures on e3, and here in this position now bishop caps on c4 was played, and it was on this move, on just move 27. Just to move 27, Bukhuti Gurgenidze resigned the game, and Tal got this spectacular victory. And this is just really painful. I mean, you cannot even capture this piece. Now the pieces are equal. Your king is still in the center. If you capture this, then just queen captures, and now next time capturing the bishop, you're most likely getting checkmated. So in this position, Bukhuti resigned the game, and Tal, magician, showing his sorcery. And not only that, I mean, this is just very painful. Obviously not rook captures, because here you have to understand. Let me just show you the line. If you go for queen captures, then this check comes, and now wherever you go, I mean, there is only one square. This would be checkmate. So he realizes this, and that's why he resigned. Obviously not rook captures, because this would be pinned. So you have to be careful about those things as well. But yeah, a beautiful game by Tal. I mean, just knight sacrifice, then going for queen sacrifice, and then going for another knight sacrifice, and just adding just kept on the pressure throughout the game, and just kept on sacrificing pieces. I mean, that's the way that Tal plays, and absolutely crushes everyone. And this game was just a really prime example of how powerful he can really be. That's why he's magician from Riga. That's why he's the sorcerer, and that's why he is one of the most romantic chess players. And yeah, this game was a brilliant game. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated. I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you all for watching.